Whenever I make a Runeterra lore video and mention the Riot MMO, I can almost guarantee I will get a comment stating they thought the Riot MMO was dead. This is most certainly not the case, and today I'm going to prove it to you. And I'll even give you my speculation towards the end on the release date. So where did all this Riot MMO was cancelled rumors start? Most likely from the Mark Merrill "We Are Going Dark" tweet back in March. All this tweet really says is that the game that they were working on was too similar to what's currently out there. Probably safe to assume they're referring to World of Warcraft. That they changed direction a while ago and are going dark as the game is being developed. Now for proof that the game is still very much in development today, I'll go through these key points. Number 1. Laura De Young talks lore in a dev update. Back in the dev update from about a year ago, Laura De Young talked lore and how they want a uniform canon. This makes sense because you need a uniform story for an MMO, and we can now look at new and changing lore from this point on with a new lens. From the lens that any changes or new lore that comes out is done with the MMO in mind. For example, Skarner, who recently had a massive lore update, would be a really great raid boss one day, and the touch of madness within his lore really drives me to believe that we'll eventually confront Skarner in the underground of Ishtal. This will come later. I don't think Ishtal is going to be coming at launch. I talk about all those zones that I think will and will not come in another video. But I'm sure that's not proof enough, and that's fine. Number 2. The Riot MMO was actually mentioned by Anthony Reynolds. Anthony Reynolds is the senior principal writer at Riot and mentions the Riot MMO in the Wild Rift Beyond the Ruination video about 6 months ago.
Thanks folks. Hi everybody, I'm Anthony. I'm a senior principal writer here at Riot. I work in the R&D space on the Riot MMO.
Still not proof enough, maybe it got cancelled within the last 6 months. Number 3. Mark Yetter on Twitter literally has in his title Game Design Director for Riot Games MMO, which easily leads me into number 4. Mark Yetter just last month tweeted about new rules for the Riot MMO, and if you go to the Riot Games recruitment page, you can literally filter to jobs specific for the MMO. Number 5. Another person you can look up on Twitter is Camille Stanford, who has in her bio that she's a game producer on the MMO at Riot Games. And she tweeted out on June of this year, "So energized to be at Riot Games HQ with the whole MMO team today. Can't say enough how much I love this project and these folks." And you can see a bunch of people having lunch at the Riot Games HQ. Still not enough? It's okay. Number 6. Riot Games co-founder Mark Merrill in March of this year spoke on their MMO being developed.
I might be overstepping my bounds here, but I'm a big MMO guy. There's been a lot of rumors around Riot and MMOs. Can you tell us anything, give us any hints or any excitement about what you guys maybe have planned for the near or far future?
Well, I'd say it's the project that I'm personally most invested in and spend the most time on, all the different things we have going on. We're trying to do it right. But it's a very hard thing. There's a lot to do, and complexity is very high, and there's obviously an incredibly high bar. So it's going to take a while, but we're committed.
And there was another update very recently. Number 7. Mark Merrill at Worlds this year talked about the Riot MMO again.
Chat, I was like, do you guys have any questions for Mark Merrill, anything? And the whole chat was spamming MMO. I'm not going to question you anything, but is there anything you can say about it at all?
Yeah, well, we're working hard on it. And,
yeah.
It's the project I spend personally the most amount of time on, but I really think the team has a great direction now and is making a lot of momentum. And it's something where we know the expectations that we have, and we're gonna really try not to disappoint.
So now 100% without a doubt, the Riot MMO is not cancelled. The more important question you should be asking is, will it be any good? Honestly, I don't know, but I can tell you from a lore perspective, the game will have a depth of lore unseen in any title since World of Warcraft. Most people have seen this map of Runeterra, and by the way, it's incomplete. But I've been making lore videos on Runeterra for over 2 years now, and can tell you confidently I'm not even close to covering everything. Let's give you a hypothetical scenario. You're creating a character and you choose to make a Demacian warrior. You begin your journey in Dawnhold, a military port in Demacia, where you've been sent to begin your new recruit training. You can see the massive city of Demacia across the water. You see a few of the more senior military members riding massive Elkin, and hope you can one day acquire an Elkin of your own. You even see what looks like a captain riding something called a Ramhound. You head to the battlesmith, who equips you with a wooden sword and shield you use for training. After some work on the target dummy, you begin sparring with fellow trainees, even beating a Laurent duelist. You notice another player who has made a ranger and has a faithful wolf dog for a companion. You're pretty jealous, but you chose to be a basic warrior. You like the simplicity, and you're boring. Eventually, one of the Green Fang Wardens, the defenders of the forests around Demacia, comes to Dawnhold saying that there's a dragon attacking one of the nearby farms. You volunteer to help with the dragon, but the warden laughs at you. saying that you would be eaten alive. However, Dawn was limited on forces it can spare due to dealing with increased activities of blood-cursed harpies near Evanmore, so they take you along not to fight, but to assist if needed. On the way to the farm, you notice a giant petricite creature. You read the message at the bottom. It says, "This protector was created by House Durand and will stand ever vigil for Demacia, protecting all of its citizens from the corruption and danger of magic." Eventually you arrive at the farm, and you help any way you can, corralling the creatures and repairing the farmstead. The dragon itself is driven back and pursued into the high mountains by the senior forces. Sometime later, the farmer approaches you. He appears to be slightly burned, claims this was from the dragon. He states that some of his farmhands have left after the incident, and asks if you will help him gather herbs from the forest. It's an optional quest, but you accept. You head into the forest and gather the herbs. But when you return, you find that the farmer is gone, and only half of the military group is back. They state that this was all a setup by a skilled order of war mages known as the Arcane Fist within the Green Fang Mountains. The plan was well orchestrated, and they knew exactly where the Demacian army would be and where best to ambush them. The dragon was lured to the farm by the Arcane Fist, who during the chaos killed the farmer and stole valuable Demacian resources. After the bulk of the force left, and while you were out picking flowers, the Arcane Fist stole the remaining herd and fled back into the mountains. You have a choice to make. Strike out on your own for glory, doing what you can against the Arcane Fist. Group up with other players in the area to investigate the Arcane Fist camp, or join the remaining Demacian forces, who plan on heading to Demacia to present their case to a man named Garen, in hopes of increasing their forces and retaliating against the Arcane Fist. The choice is yours. You have a friend who made a Freljord Spirit Walker. While nobody can explore the Freljord currently due to barbaric raiders, the cold weather, and the mountains are nearly impassable, there is a small area where the shamans begin their journey in Togogal before heading to the fields between Demacia and Noxus near Nockmerch. Your other friend made a Noxian Battlecaster and is trying out something called the Noxcrya Arena. This is the beginning of your journey. Now this is just a hypothetical story. Obviously I had to make up a couple of things like you having friends, but the other stuff is real and canonical from the lore. The Arcane Fists? That's real. The places I'm showing you on the map, those are real. The images that you saw, the potential mounts that could work for Demacia, those are real. Those are from Legends of Runeterra. We can see Demacians riding them. Now I'm not the best storyteller, but it just goes to show how built out the world really is already. There's so much lore there, you can easily put together a story like this. Basically what I'm saying is, the Riot MMO is not cancelled, and if we're just looking at the lore, it's something to be excited about. Now I did promise I'd give you my honest speculation on a release date. I really think we're going to get something in 2025. Perhaps the name, maybe like a little bit of a teaser trailer. I don't think we're getting any gameplay footage, but definitely the name, and I really hope it's just called Runeterra. I feel like that's enough. You don't need to get fancy with it. I do not want World of Runeterra. That's way too close to World of Warcraft. Just calling it Runeterra sounds good to me. Then I think in 2026, perhaps in the middle towards the end, we'll have the alpha. Then towards the beginning of 2027, we'll have the beta, and I think that the Riot MMO will launch in 2027. And that's just, me completely guessing. I don't think it's going to go past 2028. I think we're going to get a Riot MMO either 2027 or 2028. I do think the Riot MMO is going to come out. I just think it's a matter of when and not so much if. And then, will it be any good? Lore-wise, the answer is a yes. Gameplay-wise, I freaking hope so. But we'll wait for the Riot MMO. There's plenty of things to look forward to. Legends of Runeterra has been doing a lot of updates for Path of Champions. I'm hoping they get back to some PvP eventually and fix that. Legends of Runeterra is a great game. It's one of my favorites from Riot. They've been really doing some experimentation in League of Legends. Swarm was really great. I want to see more of that kind of stuff. Wild Rift, they had the Callista's Odyssey event, so we've got stuff to look forward to. I do wish Riot Forge was still around. I think Riot Forge was great, and I played through each of those titles like 3 times. Of course, Arcane, if you're watching this, the Arcane Season 2 already started, and if you haven't seen Arcane Season 1, I'd highly recommend watching all of that. And there's even a fighter coming out based on Runeterra Champions 2xKO. There's a lot to look forward to with Riot Games, and the Riot MMO is just another one. Now, I'm a small channel, so every like, every comment really does help. So if you like this video, give it a like, leave a comment down below. I do read them all. And big shout out to Pauly G, who's joined the channel. If you really want to go a step further and be amazing, sharing the video goes a long way. Be sure to check out some of my other videos on Lysandra, Pantheon, Aurelian Soul, What the Heck is a Yordle, Why Demacia is Magist, and tons of other Runeterra related stuff. Thanks for stopping by the Grove, and I will see you in the next one.